What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday. We have another nice Wednesday NBA slate that we're going to talk about. We're going to go over the games, some player props. You guys know the gist by now. I do want to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. If this video gets 250 likes, I will randomly select a comment down below to win a free month of our VIP, which is $25. So if you guys want a chance at that, make sure you guys leave a comment down below, drop a like on the video. You do have to be subscribed to win, so make sure you guys are hitting that sub button, and let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. So the winner from yesterday is going to be for, drum roll please, Ramo8804, who said, I like MPJ. Well, Ramo, hopefully you got to play him yesterday, my man. Send me a message on Discord. I'll get you that free month of VIP. But yeah, MPJ killed it yesterday, man. MPJ, dominated. That one was absolutely free. Marketing was pretty free. Jalen Johnson was free. But Wagner, man, Wagner does it to me again. He hooks me on PRA, and then he also hooks me on points yesterday. Yesterday was kind of mid for me. I'm not going to lie. I did not have a very good day. Prizepicks went okay, but my sportsbook bets, I ended up losing some. And then I ended up missing my 2 underdog slips because of hooks. So Wagner being one of those. And then I actually took the Trailblazers last night to get a dub versus Phoenix, and they ended up losing. I did have the Pistons last night. The Pistons won me some of that back, but man, dude, the Trailblazers hurt me yesterday. Ended up chalking me twice, so it is what it is. Free picks looked good yesterday, but unfortunately, my plays overall did not do the best. If you guys do want to join our Discord, Discord's free to join. Obviously, I think we've had, 4 of the last 5 days have been winning days. So if you guys want to join the Discord and join the WAP link is down in the description. First losing day this in the last 4 days or last 5 days. I'll have to go back and look. But either way, we've been killing it. Hopefully, we can continue doing that, guys. We'd love to have you part of the community if you do want to join. $10 a week or $25 a month to get access to every single one of my plays. But that being said, guys, let's jump into some of these games. So we have some good games and we have some not so good games. The first decent game, in my opinion, is going to be the Hornets taking on the Pacers. So this one's going to be in Indiana. Pacers are plus 117 underdogs at home and with a 1.5 point spread. Total is sitting at 236.5. Right now, majority of the money is going towards the Charlotte side of things. You got 72% of the money on Charlotte money line, 63% of them covering the spread, and then the over, 98% of the money on over the total, which is pretty crazy. So right now, both teams look terrible. Ball's been out most of the season. Oh, sorry. Oh, Brandon Miller's been out pretty much all season. So this Hornets team's been beat up as well. They have, 4 wins on the season right now. I'm not looking the best. I'm looking at the Pacers. Pacers looking even worse. They have 1 game on the season 1, guys. Just beat up with injuries. Halliburton obviously out for season. We know that with the Achilles tear. Nesmith is out right now. Obi Toppin's out. They do have Benedict Mathurin back. Mathurin played the last game. They actually kept the last game versus the Pistons close, which I was actually very surprised by. So I'm thinking this game could be a good one, guys. I'm really thinking this is going to be a competitive game. I'm not expecting a blowout at all. I don't know how many minutes they're going to give Ball tonight. I'm assuming he'll get regular minutes. He's not even on the injury list at all. So see what happens with that. Right now, looking at both teams, Charlotte on the road, they've won one of their 7 games on the season. And then if you look at the Pacers at home, that's their only win. Their only win is at home. Now, if you look at some of these home games they have kept close against some pretty decent teams. OKC, they kept within the 6 points at home, but I mean, also they played against OKC in the finals, so I'm sure there's a little bit of beef there too. They kept it very close versus the Bucks. Barely got beat by the Nets, but that's the Nets. It's hard to when you lose to the Nets. I mean, come on. And then they got beat pretty bad by Toronto in their last game at home. So this is a spot where I've been taking the Pacers in some places I probably shouldn't, because I'm expecting this Pacers team to just get a win, and they haven't done it, man. And I really I can't take Charlotte on the road versus any team and expect them to just get a win when the other team is plus money. Like, Charlotte's favored. You get plus money right now for the Pacers. So for me, I got to run. I think this game stays very, very close. I think it could be coin flip, and I really I want to take the Hornets, but at the same time, I feel like the Pacers team is due to get that dub somewhere, man. I feel like they're going to take it, and I'm going to run with them today. Now, I'm probably going to put half a unit. If I play 100 or $250 majority of the time on my money lines, I'm probably going to throw $100 on the Pacers, maybe 150, but I'm going to put some on the Pacers. I think this game's competitive. It's going to be good for player props, in my opinion. Knuple's probably a good one. LaMelo's going to be a good one. Siakam's always a good play because this is Siakam and friends. I know I call it Giannis and friends all the time for the Bucks. Pacers are Siakam and friends, so they got some other good players. I think they have, honestly, like, if Giannis was on the Pacers, okay, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to just digress from what I was about to say because I was going to say maybe the Pacers might be able to be better than the Bucks if they traded Siakam for Giannis. But anyways, never know with these teams. But anyways, I got Pacers. I'm going to roll with them on this one. I'm going to trust my gut, even though my gut isn't like strongly picking one side. A lot of money on the Hornets. This could be a good spot for the Pacers. That's all I'm going to say. I'll put a little bit of money on them. I wouldn't go nuke this play by any means. And the Hornets could definitely get the dub. So bear with me on that play. But next one we have is going to be the Raptors taking on the Sixers. Sixers are at home. They're underdogs at home, plus 113 underdogs. A 1.5 point spread with a 233.5 total. Right now, almost all the money is on the Raptors. You got 78% of the money on Raptors money line, 82% of the money on Raptors covering the 1.5 point spread, and then you got a 57-43 split on the over-under on the total. These two teams have both been pretty decent this season. The Raptors, I told you guys from the beginning, I've called it. Now, I will say the Raptors won their opening game, lost 4 in a row, and since losing those 4 games, they've won 8 of their last 9. So they have been dominant. Some of these teams have been pretty bad, but some of these teams have been pretty dang good, man. They beat the Cavs. They beat they just had a close game versus the Hornets, which just scares me a little bit. Beat the Nets, obviously. Lost to Philly in their last game. It's their only loss in their last 9 games. They beat the Hawks, they beat the Bucks, they beat the Grizzlies, and they beat the Cavs twice. So this Raptors team has looked pretty dang good. Now, if you look at the Sixers team, this Sixers team is not somebody to sleep on either. They've lost 2 of their last 5 games, but both of those games have been against the Pistons. This Pistons team's on an 11-game win streak. They have been absolutely dominant this season, so you can't fault the Sixers for losing to the Pistons. You take the Pistons games out of here, and they've lost to Cleveland, they've lost to Chicago, and they've lost to the Celtics. Other than that, they beat every other team. So they've looked very, very good this season as well. If you look at these teams on the road and at home, Raptors on the road, they look good, man. They've 6-3 on the road. If you look at the Sixers at home, they're sitting here 5-2 at home. So both teams looking pretty strong. This game's another tough spot. Being able to take the Sixers right now plus money, I like the odds here for them to be able to win at home for plus money. But neither team really beat up too bad. Embiid is doubtful. Paul George is obviously out. They are missing Kelly Oubre, so I'm going to say they do have some injuries, obviously, on the Sixers side of things. There's young, talented team, though. Maxi's been able to carry this team a lot. Edge Coleman stepped it up. VJ stepped it up, whatever. I think this game's going to be competitive. I think this is going to be a very, very good game for player props. I like Maxey in this spot. I like Ingram in this spot. I've been playing Ingram quite a bit. Ingram's cashed me probably 5 of the 6 times I've taken him this season, 5 of the 7 times. He chalked me a couple times, but majority of times he's cashing me out. If you can find Ingram in a decent matchup against a team, against certain teams, like games that are supposed to stay close, and it's hard not to take Brandon Ingram. So this game's tough. It's tough to call. I want to roll with the Raptors just because the Raptors have been my team since the beginning of the season, but I do think this is a spot where for plus money, the Sixers can come out here and get a dub, man. I really do think this game could go either way. So you guys do what you want on it. I'm just going to call Sixers. That doesn't mean I'm 100% putting money on Sixers. I may change my mind in the next few hours. I'm going to talk this out with Ace. Ace is obviously my dad. You guys know this already by now, probably. Some of you probably don't. But I talked to some of these plays with him. We kind of like go at each other a little bit. Why do you think this? Why do you think that? And we come to an agreement usually on a lot of plays. So I'm going to see what he thinks about this game before I give you guys an exact answer. Right now, I'm kind of wanting to take the Sixers at plus 113, but this game's tough to call. Next game, we got the Rockets versus the Cavs. Another good game, man. So the first 3 games, we got 1.5 point spreads on the first 3. Crazy, man. So Cavs plus 109 at home, plus money. Cavs at home, crazy to think about. 1.5 point spread, 233.5 total. Majority of the money is on the Rockets. 64% of the money on the Rockets money line, 70% of the money on the Rockets to cover the spread, and then you have 93% of the money on the over on this total. So they're expecting a pretty fast-paced game. If you look at these two teams, both teams like very, very good. These are playoff teams. If you look at the Rockets right now, they have won, what is this? That's 9 of their last 10 games. The only game they lost to was the Spurs in San Antonio. That's a tough game, man. The Spurs are a good team when Wemby's playing. If you look at the Cavs have won the majority of their games as well. If you look at their last 10 games, they've won 7 of the last 10, something like that. So team looking very, very good. They lost to the Raptors. They did lose to Miami So that was a tough loss for them, 140 to 138, very, very close game. Both teams pretty much fully healthy. I will say Cleveland is missing Garland. I'm not going to say fully healthy. You can't say fully healthy if they're missing Garland, one of their better players. So Garland is out this game. That gives a lot of momentum for Houston, in my opinion, in terms of picking a team. If you look at Houston's not missing anybody new. So Jabari Smith is questionable, but other than that, their starting five is strong as heck, man. We got Sengun, Durant, Okogie, Thompson. We got a really good team on this Houston side of things, and the same thing for the Cavs, man. Donovan Mitchell and Mobley, Jared Allen, Hunter, they have a very strong lineup as well. This is going to be a good game. If you look at the teams on the road versus at home, Houston's had some pretty big wins on the road. They beat the Raptors on the road. They beat Boston on the road. The Grizzlies I wouldn't consider a big win. They beat the Bucks on the road with Giannis playing. They almost beat OKC in OKC. That was 124 to 125. This Houston team's good, man. I want to roll with Houston in this game just because Garland's out. If Garland's playing, this makes it a little bit closer to me. And this game's coin flip. It really is in Cleveland, the coin flip game. I want to roll with the Rockets because I just have a feeling about the Rockets on this one. But like I said, guys, you got some odds right here that are very, very close. And any of these three games can go the opposite direction. So if you feel differently about these games, then you guys are more than welcome to run the opposite. Don't have to take what I play. If you look at the two teams in terms of rest, the Rockets had 3 days rest where the Cavs have had 2 days rest. Now, Rockets played at home their last 3 games, so they should be ready to go on the road. That's kind of another thing I've been leaning at. I almost forgot to say that, but Cavs have played at home 3 games in a row as well, but they did have 2 days rest, so they haven't really been traveling either. Cavs team's probably pretty fresh. It's probably going to be just a really good game. But I'm going to roll with the Rockets here. I like Sengun and Durant to come out here and carry us with Amon. And I like this game overall for player props. If I was leaning player props, I'm looking at Sengun personally, and then I'm looking at Mobley in this game. Those are the 2 players I'm looking at. Obviously, you got Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell does have a tough matchup versus Amon, so remember that as well. But I do think that Mitchell has a good game. I do think that Mobley has a good game, and Sengun is the one I'm looking at for the Rocket side of things. I can't really trust Amon in terms of points. He's hooked me so many times on points. I want to run him at 15 again, but I'm not going to do that. And then you got Durant. Durant's point line is so elevated because he's had 3 30-point games in the last 4 games. So it's hard to play Durant at all. Durant's line is 24.5, at a goblin. There's no way I'm taking Kevin Durant right now at 24.5 points for a goblin because homeboy can drop 15 points randomly and just decide not to play. So hopefully we don't get lazy KD. If we get lazy KD, Cleveland might just come out here and get the dub too. So we'll see what happens, man. This is a big game. Both teams definitely going to want to win this one. This is going to be big for them. And I got to roll with Houston in this one. Next game we have is going to be Miami versus Golden State. Golden State is on a back-to-back. I had money on the Warriors last night. They sold my bread. Looking at Miami, minus 200 favorites at home. 6.5 point spread with a 233.5 total. This is going to be a no-go in terms of me betting on the sports bet. Let's talk about it. 68% of the money is on Golden State plus 200. I definitely agree with that. Golden State plus 200 is very, very, very hard not to take right now in this spot, even on the back-to-back. If you look at Golden State right now, Steph Curry is questionable. Kuminga is questionable. They got some injury news you need to worry about. Miami, Bam is questionable. Bam plays. Sometimes that's better. Sometimes Miami's better without their star players. Like Hero, for example. Miami plays better without Hero for whatever reason, and Hero's a good player. Hero obviously brings something to this team. So I don't know if it's a mindset thing or what it is, but we'll see what happens here. Bam's questionable. Like I said, they do have Davion Mitchell, Wiggins, Powell, who's been stepping it up. But Curry's questionable as well. Curry's a big one for this Golden State team. If Curry sits, then this becomes a lot harder for Golden State to win on the road back-to-back games, and this is definitely going to be a tough one in Miami because Miami has been dominant at home. You look at them at home, they've only lost 1 game. You look at Golden State on the road, Golden State's lost majority of their games on the road. They've struggled on the road this season. So for me, in terms of looking at how these teams have played at home versus on the road with injury news, as of right now, I think that the Heat win. That's my personal preference, personal opinion, I mean. But at plus 200 odds for Golden State, very, very difficult not to want to try to sprinkle some on them for plus 200 because in my honest opinion, I think Golden State is the better team, but they are on a back-to-back. So, not really going to put any money on this one myself personally unless I played a parlay. And even at a parlay, taking Miami minus 200, very, very difficult to do. So wait for some injury news, see what happens with Curry, and go based off of that is what I would recommend doing. So next game we have is going to be Minnesota versus Wizards. This game's no-go for me. You got a 17-point spread. I just wouldn't touch anything here personally. The same thing for Nuggets Pelicans. You got a 15-point spread. Nuggets probably going to dominate the Pelicans. I don't even know if Zion is playing. Zion's questionable. You not going to get any news on Zion here. Questionable, obviously. DeJounte Murray's out. Poole's out. Like, missing a lot of players, man. Probably going to be a blowout. Betting on a team to be a blowout is hard, too, because some of these weaker teams will randomly keep it close. Like, who knows? The Wizards could come out here and have a 5-point game against the T-Wolves, and that means this game's going to be a gold mine for props because the Wizards don't play defense. And if they keep it close, then they have scored a lot of points on Minnesota because Minnesota's going to put some points up most likely. You know what I'm saying? So if this game stays close, it's a gold mine. Same thing for Nuggets Pelicans. If this game stays close, it's a gold mine for props because the Pelicans don't play very good defense, and if they keep it close, that means the Nuggets either have not scored a lot of points or the Pelicans have scored a ton of points. So keep that in mind. If you want to risk it for some of these games, I think that you can get some very good value on some of these players if the game stays close. But you got to also remember this game is predicted to be pretty much a blowout. So be careful with these lines. I'm fading them. Same thing for OKC Kings. You got some good games tonight. We got some blowout potential games tonight. OKC versus Sacramento. Sabonis is out. The Kings keeping it close without Sabonis in OKC is hard for me to imagine. I mean, you can look at the money here. Majority of the money is on OKC. They got a 19-point spread right now for Sacramento, 18.5. Kings on like a 6-game loss streak. They've struggled, and then you're looking at the best team in the league right now, the Thunder. So it's hard to put money on some of these games. The last 2 games are decent. You got the Knicks taking on the Mavs in Dallas. Dallas is plus 223 underdogs, 5.5-point spread, 228.5 total. 90% of the money is on Knicks money line. 95% of the money on Knicks covering a spread. So if you believe in where the money's at, it's where Vegas gets their hand in it, then you would definitely take the Mavericks here. But we'll see, man. Brunson's questionable. Anunoby is still out. If you look at the Maverick side of things, AD is not playing tonight. Gafford's probable. Kyrie's obviously out. Lively is probable. So you got some players that potentially could play, but you got AD. AD's the guy right now that you want to play for Dallas if you're a Dallas fan, in my opinion. But yeah, Dallas has struggled this season, and so far the Knicks have looked pretty dang good even without Brunson. Kept the game close versus the Heat without Brunson. I'm expecting this game to go in the Knicks' favor personally, but this game could be close, and you could get some good value here, especially for Towns. I think Towns feasts in this game. I think Towns has a very good game, so we'll see what happens there. Towns is foul trouble prone. Remember that. If he gets 3 or 4 early fouls, he's probably going to chalk, so just remember. Last game is going to be the Bulls versus the Blazers. Trailblazers. Bulls are minus 135 underdog or favorites on the road. Portland plus 133 at home. A 2.5-point spread with a 243.5 total. Fastest paced total on the game. Very, very high total. 85% of the money and 79% of the money is on the Bulls to cover both money line and the spread. Portland is on a back-to-back. The Bulls have 2 days rest. Portland has lost 5 of their last 6 games. They have not looked good in the last 6 games. Now, all these games are close, except for, one versus Houston. Last night, they kept it close and then just kind of gave up, I feel like, and just Phoenix started pulling away. Dallas, they lost by 5. That's to Dallas, which is a tough loss. They got blown out by Houston. They did beat the Pelicans, but it's the Pelicans. They kept it close versus Orlando, and then kept it close versus Miami. So this Trailblazers team struggled, but so have the Bulls, man. The Bulls started off the season 6-1. Bulls look like one of the best teams in the league this early. And then what happens? They've lost 5 in a row, then get a win versus Denver. They got a win versus the Nuggets. They played triple overtime versus the Jazz the game before that. But on the road, traveled to Denver, minus 1,000 favorites the Nuggets are, and then they go beat Denver at home. So Bulls are all over the place right now. Hard to take. If you look at Chicago on the road, they're 2-6 or 2-5 on the road. And then if you look at this Trailblazers team, they are 3-3 at home. So I got to roll with the Bulls here. Kobe White is playing, so they did get Kobe White back. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get, but I think that they're going to come get a dub, man. I'm feeling the dub for them, especially Trailblazers on a back-to-back just getting beat by Phoenix. Grant's questionable. Drew Holiday is questionable. He didn't play last night. He's probably going to play tonight. I feel like he does. He'll probably get some decent minutes since they're on the back-to-back. We'll see what happens there. So Drew Holiday is potentially going to play. Giddey is Holiday's a good defender. Put him on Giddey or White. I feel like they're going to struggle a little bit more. But I do have the Bulls here at minus 130. I'm going to put a regular unit on that. It's a tough call still. All these games are very, very tough calls, but that's what I'm rolling with. So we're going to do a recap. quick disclaimer, I'm going to call the winners here, but these are very unconfident winners. Like, I'm going to take the Pacers because they're plus money. I'm going to take the Sixers because they're plus money. Both these teams are at home plus money against other teams that they can beat. This is not like, oh, they're playing a team that's so much superior to them that they can't win. And that's why I'm trusting my gut here. I will talk to Ace before I lock this in, make sure he has the same opinion. That way, make sure he wasn't going to play the Raptors or something, just because I don't want us to be on opposite ends of things. I have the Rockets winning this on the road versus the Cavs. Very unconfident here. This is a very good game, a tough game. It's going to be a good watch. So, Rockets is what I'm rolling with. Not touching this one, not touching the next 3 games, really. I got the Knicks winning, and then I'm going to take the Bulls at minus 135. So that's what I've got for money lines. Let's go ahead and talk about some player props. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. And let's talk about these guys. So the first one I'm going to take is going to be for the Houston and the Cavs game. Told you guys, I like Mobley, man. I like Evan Mobley a lot tonight, and I'm going to show you guys why. He is a very, very good matchup in terms of where Houston allows their scoring. So Houston has a top 10 defense every category. 6th in points, 6th in assists. They have the number 1 rebound defense in the league if you average it versus all positions. If you go to the forward positions are the spots where they give up the most points or the most stats. So you can see top 10 pretty much against the guard position, top 10 pretty much versus the center position. So majority of their points are given up to small forward and power forward. So we already know where Mobley plays. Mobley is a power forward. The matchup here, they have one of the worst defenses in the league to the power forward position, and they give up 11th in rebounds, 17th in assists. So in terms of stats, where they give up points, Mobley's the place to go. Now, Mobley has been very consistent this season. I will say, Mobley cashes me out most of the time. I know Mobley chalked this last time. We played Mobley versus Milwaukee, and I took Mobley. It was a goblin play for 14.5 points. Should have been free. He had 14, could not get the 15th point and chalked us. So a lot of people in the Discord are saying Mobley is banned. I'm going to give you guys something from somebody who's been doing this for a long time. You cannot ban a player because they have one off game if they've cashed you 3 or 4 more times. Now, there's certain players I recommend that you just stay away from. If there's a player that you're like, okay, he looks like he's doing crap on purpose to not cash you, then yeah, that's a player that, like I said that about Rozier last year, and look what happened to him. So there's some players, yes, you want to stay away from. Mobley, to me, right now, from what I've seen, is not one of those players that does anything on purpose. He just has off games sometimes. Consistency has been very good for him, though. If you look at his consistency, man, he's averaging 32 PRA per game. Majority of these games, he's staying very close to either 30 or over 30. Even the game where he had 26, like, players are going to have off games. You look at his field goal attempts per game, he shoots 14 field goal attempts per average. He only shot 9 that game. So, yes, he did not put up very many shot attempts that game versus the Bucks, which is why it chalked us. It is what it is. It happens. So, if you're somebody who just bans a player, like this player's banned because they chalk you one time or because they don't cash a goblin one time, I'm telling you, you're making mistakes because a lot of these players can be very consistent. If you look at Mobley's head-to-head data, he did not have a good game his last game versus Houston. He played 30 minutes and he had, 16 PRA, so it did not look super good there. I will say that. But I like Mobley in this matchup. If you come over here and go to the Houston Cavs game, we can come down here to Evan Mobley and take a look at the shot chart. He has a decent shot chart, man. He does take 42% of his shots under the rim, going against the top 10 defense under the rim. That's his only red area. The rest has looked pretty good. He does shoot 33% from the three-point line. He's got a good matchup at the three-point line. I like Mobley here, and I'm going to be locking him in. So you can take him at points. You can take him at PRA. You can pick what you want. I personally will probably run his PRA. Now, I'm gonna probably lock him in live. Now, 30 PRA I like for Mobley, or I like him for 14.5 points if you want to play a goblin. Those are the 2 lines that I'm liking right now. You can take his PRA at 24.5 for a goblin if you want, but I feel like for me, if Mobley gives us 25 PRA, he's probably going to give us 30. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And point wise, he should be able to give us 15 points. We'll see, but I feel like if he doesn't cash PRA, it's because of his RA, not because of his points. That makes sense. So if he has like a bad RA game and just doesn't get a bunch of rebounds like he did last game, then I feel like the points line might be the best spot to go. So I kind of want to play different sides, like points and then PRA on one, not play like just a discount PRA with the regular PRA. So right now I'm walking in Mobley 29.5 PRA. I like this play, and that's going to be pick number 1 of the day. You can get this on Prizepicks as well. We'll go ahead and check the value here. So Mobley at 30 PRA on Prizepicks. So it looks like you're getting better value at 29.5 on Parlay Play. Code Fantasy Aces on Parlay Play gets you a free month of VIP, by the way. A lot of people don't have Parlay Play. Parlay Play is an app that is not the most popular, and it's just because they don't run a bunch of ads like Underdog and Prizepicks. You see Underdog and Prizepicks all over the place. I'm telling you guys, Parlay Play is just as good as any other app. They're very, very good. They give you a lot of promos every single day. Highly recommend it. They give you a free $5 all the time. Like, I play on Parlay Play all the time. Highly recommend this app. And like I said, code Fantasy Aces gives you a deposit match and free VIP. So Mobley 28.5. We're going to check the value here on Prizepicks and see what the payout is compared to Parlay Play. Next pick that I was going to have from the same game is going to be for our man Sengun. Told you guys I like our man Sengun. Now, I'm probably going to run Sengun on a separate slip. Just depending on what his line's at. I know his line, you couldn't really alter him very much. Now, his PRA line sitting at 39.5. I like his PRA at 34.5. That's kind of the number that I'm rolling with. He's cashed at 10 of 12 games this season so far. He's averaging 41 PRA head-to-head versus Cleveland. He had 33 and he had 37 in his last two games from last season. Now, Sengun's been very consistent as well. He's one of those guys, like, you can see he gets close to 40 every single game. 35 plus about every single game. He just have pop-off games. Sometimes he gets 50 plus. They have a lot of mouths to feed on this Houston team. They have some very good players, especially with Durant and Thompson. Durant can drop 30 points any point in time, and if he does that, then it makes it a lot harder for Sengun to get the points that he wants as well. If you look at this Cleveland's points PRA defense, they really have not had a very good defensive team so far this season in terms of stats allowed. Now, if you look at the points, they're giving up 16th in the league in points, not giving up a ton of points, but they're giving up middle of the pack. If you look at the rebounds and the assist line, giving up bottom 10 in both categories, and that's across the board versus all positions. You can take a look at where they have to give up the stats to. It's not to the point guard position. They give up a lot to the shooting guard position, a lot to small forward, a lot to power forward, and then not very many to center. So a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, "Why play Sengun then if you're going to take a center when you want to play one of the positions they give up a lot?" This doesn't mean that the power forward and the small forward is going to be the ones to feast. If you want to run like KD or something right here, I would not blame you because of where they're giving up stats from, because KD's probably got a good matchup right now and is bottom 10 in every single category versus KD. So we'll see. KD could pop off for sure. This is a good spot for him. I just think his lines are very, very elevated. Sengun's are elevated too, but Sengun's probably going to get his regardless. KD just has those games where he just doesn't try. So for me, I'm running Sengun 34.5. You can look at the shot chart for Sengun, and we can look at the shot chart for KD as well. KD's shot chart's not any better than Sengun's. Both of them are about the same. You got yellow everywhere, then orange under the rim. KD just shoots a little bit less under the rim than Sengun. Sengun takes 44% of his shots under the goal. Top 10 defense there. So, yes, it does look slightly worse than Sengun, but not very, or slightly worse for Sengun, but not by much, man. It's just pretty much all yellow, a little bit of orange here. So, you guys can look at the numbers if you want. I'm not going to read off all these numbers like I do sometimes. Nothing here is beautiful or anything like that, but it's not horrible either. So, I like Sengun here in this spot. We'll go ahead and take a look at Sengun. 34.5 PRA should be available. You can buy him down to, if you wanted to play like some really, really low line, you have that there for 1.75x. I don't think he chalks 30 PRA, but 35s could be a little bit sweatier. You got to double up on this play if you decide you want to play it 250 for 206. We will lock in the two slips after we get all the plays pulled up and see what the value is looking like. So let's take Sengun to 34.5. This is going to be a double up on parlay or on Prizepicks. So Prizepicks is a 2x. It's a 2.06x, and then you have one more PRA for Mobley. So the value's probably better on Prizepicks. Like, they're both pretty much double ups. Like, the dollar difference is going to be a $15 difference by playing it on Parlay Play, but you also have 1 point higher on Mobley. So you guys can do what you want with that. I might run this on Prizepicks instead of locking it in on Parlay Play. Just going to throw that out there, so I'm not locking it in twice, because I think that's hindered me sometimes in the past, locking in the same slip twice like that. But anyways, let's go and pull up our next pick of the day. The third pick of the day is going to be for our man Brandon Ingram. Like I said, Ingram has been a wagon for me this season. People in my Discord have Ingram banned because he chalks us every once in a while as well. But I like Ingram for points or PRA. So his PRA line, you can get down to like 25.5. I like his PRA at like 25.5. He's cashed at 11 of 14 games. He's got an 80% hit rate this season, averaging almost 31 PRA per game. He's got a matchup versus Philly. This is going to be a very fast-paced game in my opinion. Philly does have a pretty decent defense in terms of the stats they allow. They don't give up very many points, rebounds, or assists. Middle of the pack in points and rebounds. Top 10 defense in terms of assists allowed per game. If you look at them versus the forward position, they don't give up many stats to forwards either, but they don't really give up any stats to any position other than the shooting guard. Give up a lot of points to centers, but shooting guard is where they give up majority of their stats. So I like Ingram in this spot. They have him at the shooting guard position right now, is what it shows. Obviously, you got small forward up here. You guys really depends on who's in the game, things like that. So I take that with a grain of salt. But good matchup for Ingram. We can pull this up right here. We can come down to this game. Where are we at? It's the first game. Sorry. Brandon Ingram versus the shot chart. And you can see you got a green matchup mid-range. He's got a orange and yellow matchup in the paint. And then he's got a yellow matchup from the three-point line. Shoots 33% of his shots mid-range. He's got a good matchup there. So shot chart looks good to me. As long as it's not all red, you're pretty much good to go on the shot chart. I just like to look at it anyway just to see. But I do like Brandon Ingram tonight. So you can go for, like I said, points or PRA. You can pick the one you want to take. We'll pull Ingram up real quick. Ingram points line I like at 17.5. 17.5 points. You can get some good value there. Or you can get him at 24.5 PRA, it looks like. So whichever one you want. We'll take a look at the value here on the next slip and just see. So for now, it's going to be Sengun and Mobley and then maybe Ingram in this next one, but I might have to swap this up slightly because I was going to run one of the promos, and the promo that I liked for NBA was Tyrese Maxey. I was going to take Maxey for 2.5 3 points made. This is a prop that we take, the same boosted prop that Parlay Play gave us last time that chalked. But Maxey took 11 threes in that game and only hit 2. So we got chalked last time by the same prop on Maxey, but he shouldn't have chalked. It was just a very, very bad game for him. So let's take a look at Maxey. 3 points made, 2.5 is what we're getting him at. And you can see he's cashed it 11 of 13 games. I took him the game versus Detroit, I believe, where he shot, it was 11 attempts right here. He shot 18%. He hit 2 of 11. He's taking almost 10 threes per game. He can hit 3 of those guys. Maxey can shoot 33%. He really can. We can pull Maxey up in this matchup too and take a look at the shot chart. He does have a red shot chart for the three-point line because Toronto does not give up a lot of threes. But I take this with a grain of salt as well because their defense might not be the best, but the player just has a bad, like an off game or something. You know what I'm saying? Like three-pointers, obviously, your field goal percentage is going to be a little bit lower than if you're shooting layups or under the rim. So you got to remember that as well. So I take this with a grain of salt. Maxey can hit a 3 on any team. It's just one of those players, like, he is what he is. If you look at Toronto's 3 points defense versus the guard position, they got a top 5 defense in both categories. If you go to the small forward versus the center position, it doesn't get that good. But regardless, man, I like Maxey here. Maxey should give us 3 threes. He's going to put the volume up. As long as he hits those shots, we're good to go. Him shooting 11 threes per game, hitting it 80% of the games on the season. I've got to give him a chance tonight at a boosted 1.4x. So let's take a look at what the value would be if we played this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one slip on Parlay Play, one slip on Prizepicks, and just post them both to the Discord. So this is a 1.63x. We can't play this. So if we go back to Ingram, take Ingram for 17.5 points. It's going to be a little bit better value. That does put us at a 1.8x. So let's take a look here. Now let's take a look at this one. We got Mobley and Sengun. It's a double up. If we were to play this, I can't play this because it's boosted on Parlay Play. So I can't play the same slip on Prizepicks. What was the payout for Mobley? Let's see. Hold up. So Mobley's payout at 29.5 was a regular line, almost. And then Sengun was a discount as well. So Sengun at 34.5. So let's take the two highest payouts on this is going to be Mobley and Maxey. These two equal a double up. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the best value we're going to get here. So if we ran Ingram at 17.5 points with Maxey, we could run the 1.8x. If you want to take it that way, you can obviously run Ingram's regular line. I don't think Ingram's regular line is bad at all. Let me pull that up real quick. I will say Ingram gets 20 really quickly usually, and then the last like 10 takes him forever, it feels like. I feel like he just slows down his pace a little bit. But we could run his regular line, have a 2.3x. I don't dislike this slip at all. I think Ingram gives us 30. Now, I'm about to sneeze, guys, in 1 second. If I remember to cut that out, you will not hear me sneeze. If you did hear me sneeze, I apologize for the eardrums I busted. But anyways, Ingram at 29.5 is not a bad line. I like their original lines too. When I play these free picks, that means I like their original line. I'm just playing it safer. That's what I'm taking. So if you don't like goblins, then you guys can play and do whatever you need to do. And Ingram for 20 points may not be that bad. 20 points for Ingram is something that he can definitely cash. I do like the 24.5 a lot though. So we could maybe run 24.5 for Ingram and then throw in another player for a very low line to build the payout up. I like doing that sometimes. It hasn't really been something that's bit me. I told you guys I like Towns tonight, so we could run like Towns for 20 points or Towns for like 8 rebounds or something, and it should be pretty free. Let's see here. Where's his rebounds? So Towns for 8.5 boards. That gives us the 1.8x with Ingram at 24.5 PRA, which is pretty low. Once again, we could also run him at 20 points, and that should give us close to a double up. 1.9x here if we ran this. So let's check Prizepicks and see what the payout is for that same slip. If we took Towns, let's lock it in. I know I'm kind of wasting time for you guys right now. You can skip through this if you don't want to watch me lock these in. But if we took Towns for 20 points, we took Ingram, PRA, we get him for 25.5. So you can only get him 27.5 on Prizepicks. You can't even get the value for Ingram on Prizepicks, so it's different. Definitely different. Okay, so we definitely can't run that one on Prizepicks. Let's go ahead and take a look at Towns. Pretend like we're locking Towns 20 points. We want to research it. We're not just going to blindly lock anything in, even though I know Towns is good for 20 majority of games with Brunson is sitting. He's catched it 8 of 13 on the season. He's averaging 21 points per game. Brunson is game time decision or questionable, whatever. If Brunson sits, then Towns obviously probably going to pop off. If Brunson doesn't play, then or Brunson does play, it's going to take some usage. But Towns, even with Brunson, we can go with Brunson, has cashed majority or 55% of his games. He's putting up a decent amount of shot attempts. So Towns is one of those players, yeah, he can be a little bit risky. If we want to take Towns off of this because of the Brunson risk and maybe play this a little bit smarter, then we could do that as well. But I do like Towns to give us 20 points. I do think it could be a little bit sweatier than some of the other players. We got Donovan Mitchell. We could run some type of Mitchell points or something like that. We could run Mobley for 10 points. Mobley's probably going to be good for 10 points. We could a lot of things we could run, guys. We could honestly run KD for 19.5 if they give it to us. KD should be good for 20 points too. Like, I like KD for 20. I know 25 is a different story, but 20, I think KD gives us 20. Let's research KD here. Durant, especially since Sengun is on the other slip. So 19.5. 20. He's cashed it 10 of 12 games on the season. He's averaging 26 points per game. He's putting up big volume. This game should be very competitive. He's cashed both games versus the Cavs last season. So had 42 in his last game versus the Cavs. I honestly like this better than I think I like the Towns for 20, to be honest with you, unless Brunson gets ruled out. So I'm going to lock this in, 250, 1.9x. Let's lock it. I like that slip a lot, I'm going to be honest with you. I really do like that slip. So I wish I could put 2 units on it. 250 max is all we can play on the boost. We got Ingram for 25. We got KD for 20. And we got Maxey for 2.5 3-pointers made. I'll trust KD for 20. Like I said, I don't like betting on KD because of some shady stuff he does. But I'm going to give him a chance for 20. If KD drops like 15 points tonight, I'm not going to be playing KD anymore. I will say KD is one of those players you could potentially ban. The other one that we had was going to be for Sengun versus Mobley, which I could just hit PRA here. We took Sengun 34.5. And we're going to take Mobley for 28.5. I'm going to lock this in. I'm going to put $150 on this one. On Prizepicks to win 300, it is a double up. So you're going to see me lock this in the Discord. This one is the one I'm locking in live on the video because I'm not going to double down on this one if I think I have just this better value, I think, on Prizepicks for the point lower on Mobley. But lock it in if you like it, guys. Fade it if you don't. Join the Discord. We'd love to have you guys in there. And I'll see y'all in the next video.